During this week and today, Territorians voted for change and they voted for a better future. For all of those Territorians, no matter where they live, every family, whether they're in the towns, the cities, remote communities, on the islands, or in the centre, and every place in between, you came out and you voted for that change, and you've voted for a better future. I would deliberately like to pause and acknowledge all those that are remote from Darwin. We in Darwin tonight are thinking of you and your families, the hard work that you do out in the bush. We respect you, how difficult it has been. We have heard you and we are here to support you. This is my pledge. This is the pledge of this proud Territory Party that we will bring the Territory together again. One Territory. No division, no Berrima line. We're all in this together, all of us, no matter where you live. I take that very seriously. I also acknowledge a phone call I had just a while ago from a man that may surprise you that I do count as a friend and I treat with some respect. I respect the office that he has held. I respect the man that made the same decision as I did on the same day in 1999. That's Paul Henderson. I acknowledge the load of responsibility that he has borne for the Northern Territory. I acknowledge Stacey and his family and I wish them well. I also acknowledge my lovely wife of 30 years.
Anniversary on Tuesday. What, 28?
Yeah. And I was just reminded it'll be 31 years in about 2 days' time. I might be going to work that day. I also acknowledge our children. Kristen, Matthew, you're probably listening, or you're watching the footy probably. My son-in-law and my grandson, Alexander the Great. I acknowledge all the partners who have followed their loved ones in this vocation of serving their communities. I acknowledge you because you bear a particular burden, and let's acknowledge that together. Related to that, of course, are those who work as political staffers, who work in our offices. You also have partners. I acknowledge you, each of you. I'll do that individually at another time. But thank you for all those who have worked so hard in these last weeks, months, years in my office, in Parliament House. I also acknowledge particularly, and only one that I'll name apart from Ros, Tasma in my electorate office. Thank you. I also, I'd like you to acknowledge the support that I have received from the people, the families of my electorate Blaine, which is in Maldon, Woodruff, Rosebery. You have given me support since 1999, and I thank you again tonight for your support. I've almost made a mistake. Honour your parents. My mother is here tonight. Thank you, Mum. Lost in the... my first speech in Parliament in 1999, I had a range of topics, could have talked about anything, but I chose to talk about volunteers. If we didn't have volunteers, we wouldn't have the community or society that we have. For all those volunteers that have given their support for a great cause to bring about change and a better future for the Northern Territory, whether you're local, whether you've just given up your day to come and work with us over the past weeks in the bush, and those who've even come from afar to support this great cause, this grand endeavour, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And now a very special mention. In 2008, I well remember standing and giving a speech. In 2008, prior to Territorians turning out, there were only 4 of us in the Parliament. In the times before that, there were many who endured very difficult times, keeping the flame alive. Tonight, in 2012, it's an entirely different night. But yes, it is. However, we wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for those who stuck with us all those years in the wilderness, all those difficult years. Thank you. This is a proud party, and that pride was kept alive during those difficult years in opposition, and I thank you. And I think the Territory respects your tenacity and your love for the Northern Territory. Gather pies. Wrong party, mate. Candidates. I have mentioned those around you and those who support you, your volunteers. But candidates, we're in this together. Could you please support, continue to show your kindness and respect for those candidates who've stood up for the Territory. Every one of you, no matter where you are tonight, I want to thank every single candidate for stepping up. It is not just a job. When people look at this job, they know it's a vocation. It's something you do for the service of your community. For all those who stepped up to that plate, thank you very much. Please thank the candidates. There is a task force. That task force has worked together to coordinate a plan to make sure that we could build a better future for the Northern Territory and bring about change in the Territory. For the members of the task force, I thank you, and specifically Suzanne Kavanagh, Graham Lewis, our party president, Tim Cross. And in mentioning those names, they represent many in our party, but I mention those 3 names. I also mention 1, 2 that has worked and reported to the task force, and Lawson Broad and your coordination of the Bush Seats Committee and your candidates and your support there. Thank you very much for that, Lawson. So what did people want today when they came to the polls? I'm just here to help. During the weeks leading up to this, we went out in the bush, we went around the streets, we knocked on doors, we talked to people, and we heard what they said, that they want change and they do want a better future. They have entrusted us with something very precious. They have entrusted us with something. We cannot and we will not let them down. What they have asked for, what they want, is an efficient government that is focused on the people of the Northern Territory and determined to deliver quality services to the families of the Territory no matter where they live. They are the priority, the government isn't. What they wanted and what they have now been given is a stronger focus on law and order, to bring order to our society and respect for personal responsibility, and to provide quality rehabilitation, rebuilding of people so that they can be participants rather than a drain on our community, but be a part of the great Territory story, no matter where they are. They have voted for that. They have voted for an expanding of the Territory, making the Territory a bigger place, rather than focusing on one single project and hoping that will get us out of our difficulties and deliver the great new future. They want us to broaden our economy and have bigger plans, make sure that we include all Territorians in that great story. They wanted us to build a bigger economy, including tourism, including mining, right across the Territory, and making sure that all Territorians are involved in that. They also wanted a government that is going to plan properly for the future of the Territory and not just plan to survive. And this is the most important aspect of what they wanted, and it's what we will deliver. To be accountable, to be honest with Territorians. We are all in this together. They want a government that tells the truth, that doesn't hide anything from view, that recruits Territorians into this grand project and involves them. And what we heard most of all from Territorians, whether they're in the towns, the cities, or in the bush, and most especially in the bush, because we're Liberals, we believe that individuals have great value, no matter who you are. You have great value, and we entrust you to be involved in decision making. And I'll say, most of you think that I'm a school teacher. Yes, I am. I was. But before that, I grew up in the bush. I don't talk a lot about that. I went into education as a mature age student. I grew up in the bush. My father loved and respected Aboriginal people. He taught that to me. And I'm saying tonight, traditional people, we respect you and we'll work with you. And finally, I did say at Maldon this morning at about 9 o'clock, as I was handing out how to votes, I thought, what am I going to do after I give a speech? What am I going to drink? And I thought, I worked it out, and it's waiting in the fridge, and I haven't had it yet, so I'm going to finish shortly. They ran out of there. No, they better not have. Let's acknowledge this is serious business. Hopes have been raised. We are going to be accountable and we will deliver. We'll be honest and we'll work with all Territorians no matter where they are. They have asked for change, and change they'll get, change for the better, and it starts tomorrow. Thank you. See you later.